You got to love it like black, yeah. And it feel like, yeah. All day like, yeah. All night like, yeah. Whole squad like, what? And it feel like, yeah. All day like, yeah. All night like, what? Whole squad like, yeah. And it feel like, yeah. All day like, yeah. All yeah. And it feel like, yeah. All day like, yeah. All night like, yeah. You don't want problems. You don't want smoke, dog. You don't want problems. Yeah, you don't want problems. You don't want smoke, dog. You don't want problems. Yeah, you don't want problems. You don't want smoke, dog. You don't want problems. No, I said you don't want problems. You don't want smoke, dog. You don't want.
Y'all already know what time it is, huh? Playing skills, you did.
Playing skills.
Ice on the wrist, car on the wrist, hole in the wrist, watch out flip, watch out whip, I'm in the whip, hole in the wrist, I never switch, ice on the wrist, car on the wrist, hole in the wrist, watch out flip, watch out whip, I'm in the whip, hole in the wrist, I never switch,
All right, Coach, under hazy, overcast L.A. skies, EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to Dignity Health Sports Park in Carson, California. Today, we're set for a good AFC matchup between the Miami Dolphins and our home team. Two teams here, each off to 1-0 starts as this one is underway on EA Sports. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. On play action, Rosen. Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. Melvin Ingram dropping the hammer off the edge.
It may be cliche, but it is something that holds up over time, doesn't it? If you're the visitors, you don't want to let the crowd in the game early.
Yeah, and that's exactly what they did there. But you said also this defense, they're going to give them a lot of looks like we just saw there, aren't they?
They certainly are. They're a proud unit, and they're going to ride the momentum of this crowd with them, and that's why they got after them early. That's a really good job right there. Just kept stringing that play out, pushing him further and further towards the sideline. Really good fundamentals by that defense.
He was trying to put his foot in the ground and turn upfield. He just couldn't.
No, they really had a picket fence in front of him. No room to find to get upfield.
To throw is Rosen. Oh, he almost picked it. Nearly a turnover there on their opening drive. And that's a throw he'd like to have back. Now 4th down. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
Pick it up, guys. Pick it up. Check.
Hey, Jet, hit it.
They'll run. This is Melvin Gordon. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up second down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, there's nothing but room to run.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. From the gun, Costello. Throwing right, and that's complete. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender.
Here we go.
Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Pick it up, defense. Let's go. 59 Mike. Check, go.
To throw on third down, Costello. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. A gain there of 12 yards and a first down L.A. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff, didn't they?
When we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, they like his work ethic. You know, this guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time. Really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on.
And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. Give him 12 yards there. The Chargers have a first down.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it could be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
Ready?
They'll run for the first time with Austin Eckler. And the lane closes up quickly as he'll get about 3 down to the 38.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
Mike 52. Bound to lose one. 52's the Mike. Watch Mike. Go. On the shoot.
Looking to throw on second down. Costello finds the open man. It's Mike Williams. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets it down to the 30 there. That one, a first down pickup of 8. Pretty solid. Start for the rookie here on this first drive, Charles.
Able to have some confidence, stepping back into the pocket, move around a little bit, find open receivers, and deliver. That just means his confidence is going to continue to grow because he's getting more and more comfortable with each completed pass.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Hey. He's moving.
They'll give it to Gordon out of the shotgun. And an alley to run. And he's in for a Charger touchdown. Melvin Gordon, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. As his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Extra point by Badgley, up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. Following the touchdown, Badgley out there to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive.
And on the first drive, 3 and out. I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
They'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Out of the gun, here's Josh Rosen. He's got his man here. It's Green. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Dolphin first down. They'll run on first down. Walton. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield after a gain of about 4.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
From just shy of midfield, Rosen. And he's going to go down. They sack him back at the 42. Uchenna and Nwosu got the sack there.
Well, that's a pretty darn good start to his season, huh? A sack in the opener, adds a second one here. That tells you about his offseason. He came in determined to have a big year, and it's paying off.
3rd and long here for Rosen. And it's caught by Parker. And he's brought to the ground with another first down at the Chargers' 42. With that grab, he now sits at 200 for his career, and maybe more importantly, a first down. So they go from one 42-yard line to the other as they come up now 1st and 10. And very little there. He might have gotten a yard. Yeah, I think he got a yard to the 41. And this will probably be the last play of the quarter. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. On 2nd and 9, Rosen. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
I know at times people think we use it too often, but you've got to be able to throw guys open. And when you read zone, you've got to stick it in there before your receiver gets to the next guy in the zone. Otherwise, you bring him into the play.
And that's precisely what allowed that defense to disrupt the pass. He rifles one that's intercepted. Desmond King picks it. And he's got some space here. And this is going to be a Charger touchdown. Here's Badgley now to try to add the PAT. And it's good to make it 14-0. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This will be taken to the back of the end zone.
The Dolphins take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Dolphins at the line, ready for their next drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Play action here with Rosen. Trying to get it to Robinson, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Casey Hayward. And they will finally get him, but not until he's all the way down inside the 15-yard line. That's sort of a second quarter to forget for him. Now 2 picks.
First one that he threw, he couldn't shake, couldn't get it out of his head. He ends up throwing a second one as a result.
Compounds the mistake a little bit.
Yeah, you got to be able to forget, compartmentalize, whatever you want to call it, and move on. He hasn't been able to do so here in the second.
Now Gordon on first down. And this play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back to the 15. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Set, ready? 10 Lobo. I got it. You got nothing today. You got nothing. Let's go.
They'll run out of the gun with Eckler. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Call it no gain there, and now they're looking at a 3rd and 13. The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. Operating from the gun, Costello. He may try and run for this. And they're going to drop him well shy of the 1st as he can only make it to the 11. He'll wind up getting 4 yards there on his own, but it also brings up 4th down. Badgley able to punch this one through. And the lead will grow. It's now 17-0. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. It's what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you've got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
The Dolphins at the line, ready for their next drive. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down. No, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy. I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. From the gun, it's Rosen. And able to find Higbee. It's complete. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Dolphin 1st down. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They'll try to draw now with Chubb. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down.
One thing that really impressed me about Joey Bosa is that he doesn't sacrifice the run game trying to get sacks. This guy really knows how to hold the point of attack, great leverage, and then goes and sheds people and makes plays.
And at 6'5", 270, just a monster.
Absolutely.
And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Trevor Williams with a pick. There he goes, right side. And he will score. Touchdown, LA. Badgley on for the extra point. And the lead is now 24. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And not a particularly good return here as they'll be forced to start at the 12-yard line.
Well, conventional football 101, tells us if you don't get it back to the 20-yard line on a kickoff return, that's a disappointment. But some of these teams, special teams coaches, with approval by the head coach, they give them full authority to go ahead and bring it out and try to be aggressive. Almost what we call the green light, red light theory. Green light means go, red light means stop. Looks like he had green on that play.
That time, the right guard sending him backwards.
And so many different types of guys rotate in on the defensive line now, depending on situations. You can get the bulky guy, the fast guy. No matter what, though, he can't hold them.
From the shotgun, it's Rosen. Going deep here for Parker. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in.
Well, I guess that answers question whether or not they want him throwing it again right away after throwing the pick six on the previous drive.
Yeah, not something conservative or underneath. Pretty big shot right there.
Get him right back in the saddle and say, go ahead and sling it, big guy.
Now on second and 16. Rosen. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield. Complete. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11. Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy out in the flat.
Yeah, so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown or you're throwing the check down. Well, earlier in the game, it was touchdown or interception. Now he got to the check down, a nice safe throw, and a good one.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. And it's fielded at the 34. A good return there, 17 yards. And the Chargers will be set up pretty well as they take over in great field position.
Ready, break.
On first down, it's Gordon. And down to the 44, 5 yards that time. Well, we know he's an electric runner. Earlier this half, you were wondering how they were going to bottle him up at different levels. That was your suggestion. Some mixed results.
Yeah, certainly, because we have seen him bottled up at times. We've seen him play him very well. We've also seen him pop the cork a few times and get out of there, haven't we?
We have indeed.
You draw corkers. Switch. Jim. Watch the ship. Hey, watch the ship. 80 weapon. Hit it.
To throw on second down, Costello, and his throw's going to be incomplete. By the way, I got to apologize because I just realized for about the last 4 or 5 plays, I'm eking over into your territory up here in the booth. My bad. I'm going to get back over to my spot.
Yeah, and we're not talking about our on-air commentary. I mean, what is all this extra paper? I mean, this is unusual for you.
My bad.
Normally you run a really tight ship. What's going on here?
Just like that incomplete pass, I'm going to try to tighten things up here for this next play. They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass.
Get it.
Running right. It's a handoff to Gordon. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away.
The Dolphins take over first and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Derwin James with a pick. And he brings this one back. It's a pick 6 and a Charger TD. Here's Badgley now to try to add the PAT. And they're able to up the lead by one more. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And you're under a minute to go in the half, a first half that hasn't been particularly kind to you. How do you think they'll play this?
Well, I think the smart approach is to run out the clock.
Pressure comes and down goes Rosen. Uchenna Nwosu able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon. After the sack on first down, Rosen, and he's given his guys a shot for late points as they will take over in range for a field goal or maybe more. So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. He made his first attempt, this from 45. And this one is right down the middle. So how about the turn of events there at the end of the half?
This is one where you go charging into your locker room having collected 3 points you didn't expect to get. And you look across the field and you see guys kind of pointing fingers at each other like, dude, how'd you turn it over and make us give up 3 right there?
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. Time here for likely one play, then off to the locker room, and they're going to have some adjustments to make.
They certainly will, and I think a lot of people are thinking to themselves, all right, take the knee, get out of here, regroup. But how will the head coach and his staff approach halftime? Will it be angry? Will it be clinical? Will they be calm? Will they just let it all out? Who knows? I'd love to be a fly on the wall for this one, though.
So the Chargers will start the second half with the lead and the football as we're underway in the 3rd quarter. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. The Charger drive about to get going. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. This is Gordon as they go to him again. It's a gain of 11 and a first down, L.A.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball, protect this lead, give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. So following the run by Gordon, here's 1st and 10.
I got one. Safe. Go. Ready?
Going to give this time to the tailback. Now a flag comes in from the umpire after a gain of about 4. And this looks like it's going to be holding. So some holding over on the left side of that O-line.
And I know for the guys trying to move those big defensive people, they'd love for them to stay in one spot, but they move around so quick and so fast that sometimes you just have to grab them.
Following the penalty, here's Gordon. 2 yards on the pickup. It'll be second down.
But obviously they would have at least liked to have gotten back to the original line of scrimmage. Instead now, they're dealing with second and long.
I thought they would have passed it after the penalty. Probably wish they would have now. They run it here with Gordon. 8 yards here, so that gets them back within striking distance. And now it's third down. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
And some room to work. A big hitter there. A first down gain of 26 yards.
So that's what that elbow in my ribs was all about. You thought they were going to throw the ball as well.
Absolutely. I think everybody thought they were throwing the football. Caught him off guard.
Yeah, I'm telling you, when you have the courage to make that type of a play call, a lot of times you actually get rewarded.
They'll run on first down. Gordon. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. A gain there of 12 yards and a first down L.A. A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business in the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
Now a first down run is sniffed out from the start as they'll drop him for a loss of 4. That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And that's going to make it second and 14. On second down, Eckler. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up third down. 3rd and 15 here after the first and second down plays went in the wrong direction.
Get set.
A toss play, Gordon. It'll be a pickup of 14, but they're still a little bit short as it brings up 4th.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense gets a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. So 3 field goals that he's hit. Now this last one helps him stretch out the lead.
He's been solid, hasn't he? And he lives up to the adage that every offensive coach has ever said to us. We want to end every possession with a kick, right? For them, it's either extra point, field goal, or at worst, a punt. In this case, it's been 3s.
The Dolphins take over first and 10 at their own 19-yard line.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. From the 34 now, here's first and 10. Here's Rosen. And he slings one that's incomplete.
All right, that one fell incomplete there, but the best quarterbacks, they'll miss on 40% of their throws, somewhere in that neighborhood, similar to a great hitter in baseball who's going to fail 7 out of 10 times and still have a great year. In this case, you want perfection, but way better than it hits the ground instead of going to an opposite color jersey.
Rosen completes it to Parker. It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Dolphin first down. Rosen now just 6 of 16 through the air, but he does have a first and 10 here. He's going to air it out deep for Green. And nearly another interception. They've been around the ball all game.
One thing I know from experience is that when the deep ball is thrown and you're the defender, you've got to fight that little bit of panic that emerges. You've got to play the ball really well. It's a 50-50 jump ball play. And guess what? They took a shot. How are you going to win it? And in this case, they managed to get it done.
Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. From midfield now, here's Rosen. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
Here's Matt Hawk now. He'll boot it away from about his 35. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And this will be out of bounds at the what here? The 12-yard line. The Charger drive about to get going. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive. They score here, especially a touchdown, it's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
They'll wind up losing 3 yards here, and that'll lead here to a 3rd down. And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. And that'll do it for the end of the 2nd quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. The Chargers on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 9. They keep it on the ground. Again, Gordon. And he's going to come up well short as they rally up to stop him at about the 16. Just a gain of 2 there, and it's going to bring up a 4th down.
Well, they got off the field on 3rd down. An excellent job, an excellent defensive series. We always talk about adjustments, and usually only at halftime. But the best teams adjust series to series. And on that series, they adjusted so well that they got the job done in fine style.
Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And it'll be Dolphin football. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now Rosen looking to throw. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. It'll be a pickup of just 2, and it'll make it 2nd down. So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on 1st down. They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. D.D. Westbrook, his intended receiver. But now it'll be 3rd down. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated.
And my goodness, another interception. Picked up by the linebacker, Jatavis Brown. And they get the football. They'll set up shop at their own 49-yard line. The Charger drive about to get going. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup, let him get some time?
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said,
there goes Melvin Gordon. And they will finally haul him down at the Dolphins' 16-yard line.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Now Gordon. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. Devon Godchaux up to make the tackle.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
So up through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. And he'll take this one inside the 10, down to the 8. Still a couple yards short of the first as the 3-yard gain brings up a 3rd down.
60 Pittsburgh. 3rd and 2. No, check that. Go.
And they will take a knee here. So they'll turn to the kicker again. He's been a busy man thus far. This is a 26-yard attempt. Badgley able to knock this one through. And that will just add 3 more to a lead that's already out of hand. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the fourth.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
Here we go. Here we go.
25-yard line.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And, okay, all right, I'm being facetious here. But you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Rosen will throw. Looking long for Westbrook. And now here is another interception. Trevor Williams with a pick. And his guys will take over at their own 44-yard line. Gosh, you add up last week and this week now, that's 9 interceptions in this 2-game stretch, and we're not done here.
It's almost as if they can't even believe their eyes. Or maybe, partner, is the confidence level in him so high that they believe he'll get out of it and make plays for them to win a game.
Well, they've said they believe in him. That's being tested right here.
Here we go. 8 reads. 2 times. Hey.
And they'll indeed take a knee.
The quarterback on the keeper.
So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. And they take a knee.
The quarterback keeps it.
Here's Ty Long now. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Charger football as we welcome you back from the 2-minute warning. They've got a 4th down here in a game that looks to have been decided already. This is fielded at the 7. 12 yards on the return that time. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs.
At their own 19-yard line.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game? And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Nasir Adderley.
So many times we end a game, and as we're recapping it, we're talking about what offenses did and how they won the game. Let's flip this one over. The defense, they frustrated the offense the entire ball game. That's why they're walking out of here with a victory.
And they're going to love to walk out of here with that as their final act, that interception. Good way for them to end it.
Brings up 2nd and 11 at the 33-yard line.
And they will take a knee here.
The quarterback keeps it.
Set. 90. Good.
It's now 3rd and 13.
5.
And they'll indeed take a knee.
The quarterback on the keeper. A loss of a yard. It's 4th down.
Here we go. Here we go. 60 or. Cut. Watch the twist. Watch the twist.
So plenty of smiles for the folks here as they head for the exits. It's a victory for their hometown guys. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fine form. The defense threw the shutout at them. I think they worked in concert together. What I like about the offense was they held the ball pretty well. You know, time of possession, exactly what they were looking for in this one. And that helped out their defense. Didn't have to be out there the entire time. So when you do that and you're out there fresh playing, off a little extra spring in your step, and it showed up in this one.
They had it.
I do this for the family.